God, I forgot to unmute everything. Hey, we're back. Yeah, I fixed it. I fixed it.
There we go.
At least we got pictures this time. We didn't ABC it. Is this where they crash on the start? I can't remember.
No. I don't think so. Oh, wait, no, maybe this is... No.
Yeah.
No, it's not. Because... Wait, well, who was on pole with the second race?
Oh, Lord. That's a... Power, I feel like. Whoop. Speaking of power.
Oh, we're making a mistake there.
Was that a Code Brown moment with the guy sideways in front of you?
I don't think for me, because I was able to get to the inside. You see Dixon trying to get up the inside of me there. He's going to have a good run on me again. The biggest thing, though, is just, like, the key point is on the start, it doesn't even really matter how you get through turn 1. It only matters how you get out of turn 3 going on to that back straight, because it's so freaking long.
Yeah, that's, this track is... So I went to this race for the first time I'd ever been at this track. This track is unbelievable. Like, it's just the most beautiful, picturesque place.
Yeah. And if you ever do come, you have to camp here, and definitely bring a bike because it's so far for everything. But the camping is awesome. So many people camp.
I couldn't believe how much space there was. It was just like wide open spaces.
Yeah. It's like being in the wilderness.
So how hard is it to pass on the outside of the carousel like VK just did?
I think it depends. Like early on in the race, there's not a lot of marbles out there, so you can do it. But also, as their Townsend Bell says it, but then also you have all those guys just stacked up on the inside, and they're having so much understeer from the cars in front. Like you wouldn't be able to see that move happen in like the first 5, 6 guys.
Whoa. Oh,
Yep,
poor Rossi.
this is what happened. All of the Andretti cars go up. Um, but basically, like, there's so much understeer because you're getting so much disrupted air through everybody that you know you can do it all the way in the back there, but once you're up front, you can't really do it. And Dixon still, I remember Dixon was hounding me for a lot this first stint.
Marco's got a lot of push there with that
Yeah,
sign.
I wouldn't think it does much, but it like obviously Marco's you can see, yeah, but even for Rossi's, it's probably understeering a ton. Um, and you know, obviously it's hard to get that off because you're going so fast and the wind's hitting the front wing so hard that just shoving, even when you're going 60 miles an hour, it's still shoving the sign down so hard that it won't come off. So I think now what you kind of have to think about as a driver is you're thinking, am I losing too much time now with this on my front wing that I have to pit, or can I wait until the window opens to pit? So you could just see how much understeer he has.
At a track like Road America, wouldn't that decision be a little bit easier because of how long the lap time is?
It can be. But it's more about pit lane time, how much time you lose
Mm.
pit lane, rather than how long the lap is. Obviously, like if you're on an oval, you try not to come in because you probably go 2 laps down. Obviously, a lot of the road courses you wouldn't go a lap down if you pit it, but um, yeah, I mean, I think most of the ovals you definitely think about that. You see, he's just struggling so much, so they have to really do something.
And
Uh,
the reminder needs to go out that what's so crazy about this is Rossi won this race by what, a minute? Oh God, there's another Andretti car on.
There's another Andretti car.
But he won this race by like a minute the previous year, so it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
amazing
he
to see
won
the
by
contrast.
28. Yeah, 28
Okay,
seconds.
not a minute. I was exaggerating.
That's still, yeah, 28 seconds is basically like, that's a really long time. So yeah, obviously they made the decision, and I think you want to stay out. I think it's 3 laps is like the minimum you have to do on a tire.
Mm.
So like they don't have to run blacks anymore. I think it's 3 laps. There is a certain like limiting factor for that, and oh,
That's a lot.
here comes another. Um, so yeah, and obviously I don't think Marco would change seat. Rossi changed to reds, and Marco is not going to because he's already on the red tires. What speed are you going through turn one at this track? Turn one, I'm not really sure. It's got to be between 150 and 140, I'd imagine.
It's not like you're
Maybe
really
it's a
looking at
little
the
more.
speedometer when you're going
Yeah,
going into turn one.
and we don't even have speed on our dash.
Right.
Like I don't, at least I don't. Some guys will, but there's really no need for it now.
Why would you even put put like the mile per hour? I mean, I don't see the advantage of that. Maybe like at Indianapolis if
Yeah.
you're on a qualifying lap, but anything else, I don't know why.
It could help there to just, but it's not gonna change anything in your approach. You'll just know that you're doing good or you're doing bad.
Mm.
Um, so I mean, I guess we kind of had on the speedways obviously we do like average speed throughout the lap.
Hmm.
So we have that on, so you can kind of tell if the lap's going good or not through speed through that, but it's not the top speed.
Oh,
That's a
wow.
little naughty. That's a good save from Renus. And you can see too, he has a little bag there on his A-ring or A-wing, A-arm, sorry. Um,
A wing.
and A-wing. And you definitely don't want that going into the side pod because that'll just cook the heck out of the engine.
How much radiator space do you give on a track like Road America? I mean, I know you can block them off as much as you. I think that's one of the few open things in IndyCar. You can kind of just do whatever. I mean,
Yeah,
how wide do you run them here?
it's all based on how hot the engines are getting. Um, so you try to run as little as possible because it's better for the aerodynamics. So you could see they kind of showed it on the Penske there that kind of close it off with a piece of carbon fiber over the radiators. but it's kind of, it depends. You know, Honda, or Chevy, the engine manufacturers will tell you what they want you to run it at, and they'll say, hey, you need to open the blanking a little bit more. You can close the blanking. Um, as Marco's in again, I'm not really sure why at this point. Maybe a drive-through for something. Maybe he's speeding in the pits or something. I have no clue.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Yeah, I don't remember that, so I wish I could give better context. I forgot that Ryan Hunter-Ray was actually running pretty well this whole weekend.
He was very fast. I think he has top. I think he had two top fives this weekend, didn't he?
No, the race 2 gets a
He
little ugly.
Yeah, he crashed with Rahal, didn't he?
I thought it was with Santino.
Rahal and oh,
So,
is he not in the first crash?
somebody wrecked him going into turn 1, and then Rahal crashed into turn 3.
Ah, okay, yeah,
I don't
at the
remember who
start.
he ran into, though. I'm sure somebody's chat will tell us, but I
Yeah,
remember that he went off the
Hunter
end
Ray
of turn 1.
crashed with Power. Oh yeah, that's when Power
Yeah, oh,
Power
yeah.
took everybody on the face of the earth off on that race.
Including himself.
Yeah, that was not a great one for Will. Um, yeah.
Eric is asking about the 2020 doubleheader events. Are they twice in a week or once a week? Have we decided what we're doing with the doubleheader events?
We don't know yet. I think we were just talking. I said I might be able to do it tomorrow, but I might not be able to. Um, so we'll try if we can, if I can. And if David's free too, we'll do another one tomorrow. But most likely it'll just be once a week.
We're just kind of winging this, guys.
Yeah, we'll just.
And now my chat is telling me all about willpower. That's right. Okay.
Willpower facts.
Yeah. Again, that was just kind of the. I think willpower has an issue in this race too. It's not a crash, but I think he has some kind of a pit lane problem while he's up front, and it's just
That's
like
like we were talking about that before. Is like the willpower luck is non-existent almost.
I feel like I feel like there's a yellow in the middle of this race. I don't remember which yellow it is, but it splits the field. I mean, spoilers. It splits the field. It does the whole the thing that everybody. So okay, I guess before we get there, your opinion of closing the pits versus not closing the pits.
Uh,
Don't get yourself in trouble, but you know.
I mean, I like how it is. I've been helped obviously by it, and I've been, really screwed by it before too. So I like how it. I think it adds a little bit of strategy and risk, right? Like these guys, it's not like the pits are closed and they're like, oh no, they're screwing us again. Like they know that there's a good chance of it happening, and they know the risk of the years before and what the percentages of that around that pit window the pits are going to be closed. So it's, you can't just like, when you get screwed by it, you can't just be like, oh well, this is so, like, it's the risk you took to try to get the better track position and stay out, and maybe overcut and make a few positions up, or you could get screwed by it. So I mean, yeah,
There we go. But I mean,
the risk
again,
both
kind of
ways.
on a track like this, it really does hurt you if you get caught out by it.
For sure, yeah. And it looks like I'm struggling a lot here. Scott passed me, and now I'm holding up the train here. I don't really remember this race too much, to be honest, but it looks like Felix is getting close to getting me.
Well, I do remember the previous year when you were, I think, were you on the pole or were you on the front row? I can't remember.
This is actually where I became the youngest ever pole setter.
That's right. So, not to bring up bad memories, but I remember specifically in this race, you struggled with tire management. Um,
Yeah, last year. Yeah, yeah.
was that this issue here, or was that?
I think we just the car wasn't good. The car wasn't good enough in first race. In the next race 2, when we watched that, um it was way better. We did a lot of stuff that we did a few things that Ryan Hunter Ray had on his car that was a little
Whoa.
different. And obviously Will's having so many moments, and I think Pato should get him easy right here. Yeah, he's gonna fly by him. Although Will's kind of using the side draft and trying to stay with him a little bit.
Is that actually a thing on a road course in an IndyCar?
Yeah, I think on everywhere the ovals and the you get a little. It's not like sedan cars where like you see them fly by each other and then they can catch them as they're passing and pat repass them. It's not like that, but you do get a little effect of it. Um, Obviously it's like risk versus reward though. Like I never do it on the ovals because I don't you don't want to be that close to anybody.
Will managed to hang on to that spot, which is pretty impressive.
Colton, when you have a race weekend, do you ever watch some of the support races? I try to, but usually not. I'm usually way too busy. I think maybe I watch if I watch anything, I watch the Indy Lights races, but I'm never really I watch it in the truck. I never get to actually watch it.
Well, speaking of, I mean, before this race, I saw the best, probably the best race I saw all year, which was Indy Pro 2000,
Right.
where I think it was Daniel Frost passed Devlin DiFrancesco in like the last couple hundred feet of the race. It was just,
Yeah, I do remember that. I remember
yeah,
hearing about that.
that was
No,
insane.
I mean they put on great races though. A lot of the team, especially here because of how little downforce those cars have compared to the power level. They can actually run so close together and they can actually race really well.
Ooh,
Oh, you see that the problem the problem there was he got on the curb a little bit and then the curbs, as you can see, they're still like built and worn from how many years they've had this place and haven't really done anything to the curbs in a long time. Um, and actually, that curb on the right has pretty much been there since my dad raced in like the 90s and kart there. So, um, and if you just touch that curb a little bit, it yanks you. It grabs the wheel and it yanks the car over. Um, so that's kind of some people do this, some people won't, but you try and on your reconnaissance laps on your first out laps at the track and practice, you kind of try to get on the curbs when first time you're going to places and see if this curb is able before you do it at 150 miles an hour. You don't want to chuck the car over a curb that's going to destroy the car at 150. First, you can feel it. Would I want the curbs redone? No, I don't really care. It's fine how it is.
are there any tracks on the schedule that you'd like to see repaved or redone?
Iowa.
Mm. Well, that's not on the schedule anymore, so you don't have to worry about
Okay, there we go. On the
it.
schedule?
Yeah, on the schedule.
I mean, I'd have to think. It actually would be really cool if they repave Road America to just see how fast we could go there,
Mm.
like how fast the average speeds would be, because I'm pretty sure they would be really freaking fast. But I don't really know. I enjoy a lot of the older racetracks that have kind of worn down a little bit, like the pavement has a little bit of history.
I think that's a common answer across most of motorsport, to be honest with you.
But I also think it's like a nice to have a good balance of like perfectly paved tracks like Indy road course compared to like tracks that have bumps and you know it kind of makes it interesting too as a driver to kind of handle how you go about handling the bumps.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think as a fan too. I mean, you want to see a variety. You don't want to see the same tracks
Right,
every
yeah.
single week.
A Road America repave 3 seconds minimum? Yeah, at minimum I think 3 seconds. That's a good number. Probably in between 3 to 5 seconds if done properly.
Would it hurt the
Sometimes
racing though?
Uh, yeah, yeah, because you'd be going faster, right? Through like the carousel and through turn. I think it's like 8 or 9, the fast right-hander. So yeah, obviously the faster these cars go, the more wake they're gonna make, and the harder it's gonna be to follow. F for the grilled cheese burrito. Shame on Taco Bell for nerfing it. I know, I know. I don't know what the heck They also took the Mexican pizza off where I live.
I think they
I
got
don't know
rid
if
of that
that's
everywhere.
everywhere.
Yeah.
And the beefy nacho loaded griller, which I mean, I don't know what the hell Taco Bell is. They need to get in line.
Well, I just miss the potatoes, like period. Like just anything with
Mmm.
potatoes in them, and they're just all gone. And I don't even know why, because I'm pretty sure they sold about 1 billion of those nacho fries. So I don't know.
Mmm. Yeah, I never had those.
What? Oh,
They look pretty good though.
they seasoned them with taco seasoning rather than salt.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that does sound delicious. Did Coda get a repave right before they're gonna stop using it? Yes, but only in certain parts of the track.
It was only in the places that made the F1 race interesting. What? Who said that?
Yeah, it's like I think it's the back straight, 17, 18, 19, the triple right-hander. Turn one, there's a big bump going as soon as the hill went up. And then I think the left-hander going onto the back straight, somewhere around there.
Boy,
Obviously, you can see like how much it seems like the Andretti cars are struggling. We're just kind of going backwards at the moment. So at this point in the race, you're kind of thinking, what is the balance? How can I fix it? And is a tire change going to help? You also have to think about, obviously we're on a track that we bring a certain compound to that needs to make it around for, however long this track is, like 4 miles or something like that. So it's a very stiff compound. Even like some of the black tires that we use at some places are softer than the red tires here. Um, so, it's a very different tire to drive on. So you have to think, are the blacks going to help? Are they going to be way worse than the reds? And is my balance going to shift better onto the blacks? Or am I going to have to make more adjustment onto that? As we see, I'm getting past.
By
And,
oh
oh,
no.
oh, see you later. Maybe not. Okay, I'm back. All right, there you go. And see, now I am gonna see Felix squared that off very well. Just couldn't get the power down like I could. And I think I'll be safe. Barely. Barely escaped the clutches.
Oh boy.
Oh
Wow.
boy.
Hey, that looks familiar.
Did he get a puncture from that?
I think we're gonna find out. I maybe.
I don't know. He did clip the front wing with the left rear. That's tough to call. I mean, I think, you could see Ryan kind of moved inside then outside, and Ferrucci obviously really wanted it, so it's kind of hard to, say who's right or wrong in that situation. I think they both did things that weren't really right, but so it all equaled out.
Yeah, this was a good weekend for Dale Coyne Racing. I think in race 2, where we see Alex Palou kind of have his
Yeah,
coming out party in the series.
yeah. Alex was such a threat on all the restarts. So if you ever want to watch a guy that's amazing at restarts and cold tires and just dirty tires, see, that's late, but he's just lucky that Ryan is experienced.
Well,
'Cause I don't think a lot of guys would have left them.
in the replay you can, because in the slow mo you do see Ryan kind of weaving around a little bit too. So
Yeah,
you're right.
yeah, but I think it's late on Santino's part too. But I
Sure.
think Ryan's a very good racer, and he's a very aware racer. So you can deuce that on Ryan Hunter-Reay, even if he doesn't like it, that he's aware you're there, and he's perfect at leaving just enough space.
I had something I was going to bring up and I completely forgot what it was going to be. It definitely was not about Taco Bell.
Liv Moss, there it is.
Yeah, there we go. I was lucky.
Ryan Hunter-Reay got payback on Santino at Harvest GP1.
That's right. He
That he did.
did.
That he did. But at what cost did he get the payback at?
It sounds like Santino's not gonna be racing with you guys next year, which is kind of interesting. Sounds like he's going to NASCAR land.
Yeah, yeah, with he's got that 20 race Xfinity deal, or I think I read about it.
Yep.
Which That'll be interesting for him.
You gotta enter some Xfinity races, Colton. Go be a menace on like the road courses.
I've always wanted to do that though. I've always wanted to try see what a NASCAR is like at a road course. Can you guys even see me? It's so fucking dark in here.
You gotta get a light.
I gotta turn on a light. That's right next to me, is it? No.
Oh, I remember what
There
I
you
was
go.
gonna say. This was a 1 day show, wasn't it? Like practice,
No,
qualifying, and race all together.
no, this was the first one that wasn't, I don't think, because we had because it's two races.
Right, but
It's a
I
double
thought
header.
I thought they did like
Was it? You were there. What do you mean? You
I
tell
I'm
me.
trying to remember. I feel like no, I feel like you guys did practice, qualifying, and the race each day.
Uh-huh.
But I could be wrong because I was there 3 days, but I think one was just a road to Indy day. But I could be wrong. I don't know. They had you guys like fenced off. that was one thing I remembered. Ooh,
Oh my.
that was
Could you imagine? Could you imagine that? And that's gonna hurt Pagano because even though it didn't look like it like hurt him that much, that'll probably cost him a second on track just from checking up for power there. So, and then obviously not an amazing stop, but
oh, and this is so the Road America pit exit, at least on TV, looks like the most sketchy thing ever.
yeah, I think you just have to know that you have to like stay right.
Some
Because
guys
like
don't.
you got guys coming at like 200 miles an hour, and you're coming out of the pit lane at I think they lowered it this year. It's like 45 pit lane speed limit where before it was 50 or 55.
I remember one. I think it was the year they came back. Graham pulled out right in front of somebody coming out of the pit lane, and it was like, oh my god.
Yeah. Somebody said, "Yeah, you look like a Sith Lord. It's great. Thank you. I look like Jar Jar Binks."
Gonna pull out my lightsaber here. That is not a euphemism for those
If, it-
untold.
if anybody wants to waste it's of their life and go look at Star Wars lore, you should go check out the opinion that or reasoning why Jar Jar Binks is the Sith Lord on Reddit. There's actually a really good, strong Reddit reel of, and it actually makes sense. It's scary, so
Well, I mean,
I
the,
still have my hopes that like that wasn't the real Sith in the last episode. You're just waiting for Jar Jar to come out behind the curtain.
that would be cool. That it would redeem a lot of stuff, I think.
Yeah, I think there'll be a lot more people going to the hospital for gouging their eyeballs out though if he made a return.
If they ain't gouged their eyeballs out at the Last Jedi, they won't gouge their eyeballs out. Jar Jar being a
There
Sith
you go.
Lord. Speaking of Star Wars, not really. Here is Oliver Askew doing something, getting passed by
And,
Takuma Sato.
yeah, and it's gonna be hard for him to get a good run on Takuma here. He's on the black tires, fresh out of the pits. Yeah, so you can't put the power down like Takuma can. Hit it a lap early. See, so now you can see like did yeah where the heck did Ferrucci? Oh, Ferrucci pitted. So now and Newgarden. So now you could see Ray Hall, me, Harvey, Dixon, Hunter Ray taking a little bit of a risk at catching the yellow, or rather not catching the yellow.
Now, this is something we could probably talk about in race two, but Graham doesn't last very long in that. So he did a livery change in between the races, and I think you did that too.
I've
Uh,
done that. Yeah,
yeah.
Rossi's done that too a few times.
Well, let's wait till the pit stops are over. Oh God.
You can see that he's messing. I think he's messing with the air hose part of the. Obviously, the top part of that, the fuel intake is for air, so it flows fast.
Wow, nice burnout.
I said thank you very much. Yep, right there. And obviously, did I get in front of Dixon?
Uh,
Oh no, barely. That was very close.
oh man, look at
And
this.
you can just see how good. Look at how good the undercut was. And this is what. Well, we'll talk more about this in the second race, but it's a very interesting strategy ploy if you understand right now how good the undercut is, and you can see that the guys are undercutting and they're making huge jumps. Like this, I think this is Pato, but he was nowhere near us before,
He's gonna be pretty near you here. Oh,
and I think he's even on black tires now, is he? No,
uh, maybe.
it seems like we're all on black tires. So I mean, and right now it looks like you could see we're all stacked up against Harvey because it seems like Harvey's struggling a little bit right on the beginning part. And you can just see that understeer. Oh, it's so awful to watch. Just waiting on Dixon to get away so I could put a little bit more wheel in and get a little bit more fresh air on the front wing.
It looked like it
Not
was
quite
snapping on
that.
you too, coming out.
Yeah, coming on the exit. Yeah, it does. It tends to snap on the exit there.
Oh boy.
I don't remember this at all. I don't even remember battling him.
Let's get a little battle.
And obviously, it's so tough to try and hold people off on cold tires. And you just see, we still don't have quite the temperature that Pato has. But it's if I can make it through this next section of straights, then I will be fine. The tires should be up to temp by then. And this is probably Ferrucci's best road course race that he's done in an IndyCar so far.
Yeah.
Because he's really mostly known for just doing great at the ovals, and hasn't really been great at the road courses yet. And this is kind of a little bit of a turn.
This is a preview for.
This, yeah,
Oh,
this is an interesting. Yeah, is that race 2 or is it this race?
that's race 2.
Okay.
This race has a much more predictable winner.
You see Pato complaining about bottom end when he says bottom end. He's probably talking about the bottom edge of the engine, the beginning of the power application, and just the lack of um, power. So they might have when the engineer said this is going to be better in the long run, they might have a less power or more power cut early on to save tires, is what I'm thinking right now. Like more like almost like cutting torque from the engine a little bit. Even though you're giving it full throttle, it might not be full throttle quite yet because the torque curve might go like that. So that might be what they're talking about. And that's why he's complaining about it, because he's got his rear tires are good, so he can put the throttle down and traction's not a problem. But as the tires wear, you kind of want that where it's almost like uh kind of, I guess, traction control in a way.
Hmm? I feel like the Pato Rosenquist teammate deal at McLaren next year is going to be very interesting. I think that's going to be. I think there's
That's
some
gonna be
potential for some fireworks, to be honest with you, between those two.
it's gonna be interesting because it's two guys that people rate very highly. So it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be like a Formula One style partnership, right? Where primarily IndyCar for most teams, I think they work well together. I think these guys are young and they need to fight for rides, so they're gonna be fighting each other for position in the team in hierarchy there.
Yep, and that'll be a definite change of pace. I think it'll rub some people the wrong way, but then again, that would be par for the course for that team in recent years. So,
Yeah.
boy, yeah, the coin guys are just. I mean, it's so weird because growing up, Dale Coin Racing used to be like, the team that you didn't know who the drivers were, until they showed up, and they were
Mhm.
almost always running at the back. They were running with cars that were like 3 or 4 years old, and the fact that they have risen so high in the echelon of IndyCar racing recently has really been kind of fascinating. And I think a lot of it has to do with Sebastian Bourdais, by the way, the fact that he came onto that team a couple
Yeah.
years ago.
Yeah, no, they have good engineers. Or they really had good engineers when Bourdais was there. Um, and so they were, that combination was working to kind of turn the team around to kind of what it was when I feel like Justin was there and he was able to do well with them.
Yeah,
What
that
do
that
you
was another
what
driver.
Somebody said, what do you think of the idea of giving everybody in the Fast Six the softest compound that Firestone makes? I think it's a good idea if they make an even softer compound where you have like one, just I like the idea of doing single car qualifying
I
for
was just
Fast
about to
Six.
bring that up.
Um, and having a compound where like it's so fast that you cannot push at all until you're out of the last turn, and by the end of the lap, rubbers and shit's just tearing off the tires and the cords are coming off. So, like, just to have a tire that is purely one lap and extremely soft, and you just go like 8 seconds a lap quicker would be crazy.
Wouldn't that kind of eliminate some of the bitching about the red flags and stuff with single car, at least for the Fast Six, where
For the
you.
Fast Six, yeah, it would.
So I think it would be a cool solution because I think the way you
Yeah.
look at like the Indy 500 qualifying is a great example where the focus is all on one car. The sponsors would probably like it too.
hmm
Um, I don't know. I don't know why they don't do
I
that.
think too, like you can't just do it with the tires we have right now because some of the places, well, you can at some of the places. Some of the places is one lap, then the tires are gone. But other places you can do two or three laps. So I would like to see a fast tire, and then you
Hmm.
could, you know,
Don't you have to? But you have to start the race on your qualifying tire, right? So how would you change the rule to kind of compensate for that?
um, yeah, maybe you don't have to start on your qualifying tires then.
Mm. But that costs money,
Well, no,
Colton.
wait, only the is it the Fast Six guys that do that, or is it Fast
Yeah, I
12
think the
too?
Fast Six has to start on their or is it the whole field? I thought for sure the Fast
Well,
Six has to start on their qualifying tires.
yeah, well, if it's just the Fast Six, then it would be okay because they can just use the tires from the Fast 12.
Mm.
But I don't know if it's the Fast 12 also.
I'm sure the chat will
It
tell
seems like
us.
chat knows more than us. Yeah.
Right.
Is Marcus Erickson a cool guy? Yeah, I don't really talk to him, but I've talked to him a few times. He seems very nice.
How many guys don't you talk to in IndyCar? I mean, how many guys would you say you don't actually know?
Like most of them.
Really? It's interesting.
Um, yeah, I only really talk to my teammates and Pato, Jack obviously included in that. Sometimes Rosenquist a little bit, Oliver a little bit, Connor a lot, too much. So yeah, no, I don't really talk to a lot of guys too much.
That's interesting because it's always, I always hear from like outsiders, especially people who come over from Formula One. They talk about how tight knit
hmm
IndyCar is and all this stuff, and it's like,
I think most guys do.
hmm.
I think I just don't talk to them.
You're the introvert.
Yeah, exactly.
Introvert Herta.
And this is another weekend in a row that Graham could have won a race and just ripped away from him, right?
Right?
He had that two-stop strategy at Indy almost worked, and now you can see the fuel, you know, just not working.
Graham's an interesting case because it's weird because he started out really really strong in his
hmm
career, and then he kind of fell off, and then he came back really strong, and now he's a really
Right.
strong driver. So it's weird how his kind of career progressed.
Yeah, and it might be as easy as that maybe the the chassis didn't, he didn't like chassis or the aero package. It didn't agree with his driving style during some of those years. And obviously, he had good years. He finished in 2015, I believe, is second in the championship to Dixon.
Yeah.
Or was it earlier?
No, it was 15. That was the year he
15.
probably should have won, and Vautier took him out at Pocono and kind of ruined it.
Yeah, so, he was, I don't know. It's tough. And Neil Fife, his engineering strategist that they just showed, he was actually my engineer for the first year that I did Daytona. Or no, he wasn't my engineer. He was an engineer on the team the year that I won Daytona with the BMW.
I forgot that Hinchcliffe was doing the television.
Yeah, I think this is his first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, because he actually was racing Texas.
Colton, what do you and David think about no open test? You do, I mean, you get some testing. Obviously, the regulations are quite tight on it, but um, I would think it's unnecessary at the point where IndyCar's at right now. Right? Like we're not developing parts. Um, so yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, I would agree. I mean, I can't really add much to that. It's just I think testing is fun. I think the only places where more track days are kind of important. Uh, Private testing to me, it really doesn't move the needle unless you got a new car, or at least this year, I think maybe in a normal year you would have tested a lot more because of the aero screen. Um, I think for the Indy 500, I think you want probably a full week of practice just because it helps hype the event. But anywhere else, especially like private tests or like opening it up so that there's a bunch of private tests, like you said, with the way things are, I don't really see the point of it, and it would just mean that a lot of teams would spend a lot of money that they probably don't have to do.
Why doesn't Graham drive the BMW? He's an IMSA. BMW owns a lineup, so they're all factory drivers. A lot of people think I went to BMW and because of Bobby Rahal and the Indy cars and stuff, which actually wasn't. It's actually BMW contacting me. So BMW owns the card for getting to call the shots for the lineup. And I think all the employees are Rahal employees, so it kind of works like that.
I'm sure Bobby's not complaining that you're on the team
I don't think so.
though.
I hope not.
Well, I mean, if it really comes up, you can just say how many more wins your dad got in the period that he was running up against Bobby at the same team.
Yeah.
So there you go. And now I've been banned from the Ray Hall Letterman Lanigan garage for
There you
next
go.
season.
And you see, obviously, like you can see the gaps are pretty consistent, and then I'm like a good 3.5 seconds back, so I'm really struggling at this point to kind of keep up. Um, there we go. I'd be fourth in the championship as I run right now, but I think I do better. But yeah, really struggling at the moment with the car and just trying to keep the tires under me. I had a really big problem with understeer and then understeer throughout the corner and then just really big snaps on exit. Um, where the rear axle was loaded for so long that eventually it would just give. And I had all this wheel in when the rear axle would give, so obviously I put all the steering effort in and then boom, it snaps. So it's impossible. That's kind of like the worst IndyCar balance that you can have is that big understeer to snap oversteer.
It's pushy
And he
loose.
pushy loose. There you go.
What is your favorite IndyCar paint scheme of yours? Is asking Counterline Games.
I loved my first win at Coda, that paint scheme. And then I also like my Laguna Seca win paint scheme. I think I ran that a few times. Ran that Pocono and a few other races at the end of the year, in 2019. So That car was cool. It was like all white with little light green accents and fluorescent orange. And then obviously the one that I won at Coda was the black, white, and baby blue. That car was beautiful too.
Oh, that was such a cool. Yeah, that
And
was.
I always loved like we're the only guys that did it, but we did like the A arm covers, so the A arms were a different color than the front A arms were baby blue for that car, and I think they were orange for the Laguna Seca car.
Bring it back. Do a yellow suspension. That'll look good with the game bridge scheme.
Yeah, that actually would look pretty cool. I don't think Andretti does that though. They allow it.
Ah. Well, I was gonna. That might be a question that you might not be able to answer, but what can and can you not do with a livery? I mean, what kind of restrictions are you under?
Like me personally, like the team versus like the series.
I would say like the team because the series, I think we that's pretty well established. But like,
Yeah.
what does Andretti? Has Andretti said no to anything that you maybe have come to him with, or the team has come to him with and said, oh, we want to do this, and maybe they said no.
I have no say on what the livery of the
Right.
car is or what it looks like. So that's, none of the drivers do. That's not our department. It's more of a question between the sponsor and what they would like, and then obviously you have the guys that do the painting on the cars, and most guys have paint shops in their shops. So they paint them actually. We're in the IndyCar shops, and so yeah, I mean, as far as like series to car or team, I have no clue. I don't know. I think you could do anything. I think it's just no cigarettes and no naked women. So there you go.
Wow. And that's and I think if there was a federal regulation, I think the cigarettes would still be there. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
because
and
there's vape sponsors, and guess who owns those companies?
yeah, it's a very weird thing that the vapes get by and then the cigarettes do not. I don't know. Very strange.
Yeah, alcohol too. No, you can have alcohol sponsors, at least as far as I remember.
Yeah, you can still have a lot of the like Bush from Harvick and stuff. A lot of guys still have.
There actually used to be like regulations against hard liquor sponsors, which went away like in the mid 2000s, which is why you saw like, for
Really?
example, Dan Weldon's car had Jim Beam on it. They didn't used to be able to do that. So
I didn't know that.
yeah, it was weird. That was something I remember hearing about in like the mid. It was like because you can tell when it happened because it was like, especially at Andretti, you went from having like Budweiser on the side of the cars to like Jim Beam and oh god, what was the other one? Canadian Club. So yeah.
Oh yeah, somebody brought up the Pata does have an alcohol company. It's the what's that tequila company?
Oh god. Uh, quick NBC cut to his onboard. I think he also
Yeah,
has the. They also McLaren also has the beer sponsor that Carlos Sainz brought.
Estrella.
Yeah.
Yeah,
hmm Johnny
and then
Walker? No, and Johnny Walker.
they had the vape sponsorship too, right?
Views, yeah.
Views.
Which is R.J. Reynolds, which used to be Winston, like the Winston Cup Series, I think.
Ah.
Oh wait, no, no. Well, it used to be. I think Views used to be Cool. I think that's what it.
Ah,
So
okay.
yeah, which is also, by the
Every
way,
IndyCar fan knows who that is.
everybody. Well, that's apparently, which I didn't realize was, but the what used to be the 7-Eleven sponsorship was actually a carryover from the Cool days because they stopped being able to
Really?
run cigarette sponsorships, and so they switched it from Cool to
Hmm.
7-Eleven, and they got to keep the same colors. So that's I don't think that's ever been like publicized, but it's really obvious when you know what you're
Yeah.
looking for because it's the same car, same team, and
Right.
and eventually it went away. And sometimes like when they can't run the vape sponsorships in F1, they'll swap the whatever it is for a better world or whatever they run on the McLarens for 7-Eleven.
Okay.
So
Ah.
yeah, so there's a little inside baseball. This is a crucial moment in the race. I can tell you that right here.
Here we go. Yeah, pay attention to this. I remember this now.
Colton Pitt,
Obvious.
box now, box now.
Yeah, that would have been the right call. Had only I known. But obviously Dixon now, like they saw what Pato was able to do, so now they're gonna go for a mega undercut and another set of blacks. Yep, another set of blacks, and it looked like a new set of blacks too, so
Does the 4/10 rule apply to Road America?
no.
Hmm.
4/10 rule does not. It'll be a different, it'll be a different time gap. But I can't really tell because not everybody's stacked up against each other right now.
If IndyCar becomes more popular in the Southeast, maybe this gets more tobacco money into the sport. Uh, I don't think that really has a lot to do. I think that tobacco money really is just like, and it's weird because we now have the vape thing. I think the
Hmm.
tobacco money is just like a dick measuring contest. So I'm actually
Yeah.
surprised that other companies haven't jumped on the fact that Views is getting all this free television advertising out of sponsoring a race car. Um,
Hmm.
because I guess it's because like stuff like Jewel or whatever is the competitor to Views is so has so much bigger of a market share. But I don't know. I'm surprised there aren't like competing vape companies in IndyCar. And here comes everybody responding to Dixon, including you.
Oh boy, and that is a brutal stop too. 10.4 seconds.
What was the issue?
It's
I
not.
wasn't didn't see really anything.
It just seemed like right front tires. Somebody said cannabis was heavily advertised in Formula Drift. That'd be an interesting one. That's gonna be an interesting one when it really grows to like kind of nationwide. Obviously, from California, so it's a lot of dispensaries out here. It's very easy to get weed, which is just gonna, I think, continue until eventually it's like buying a pack of cigarettes.
Right. Well, that's the thing is that it's not it is mainstream, but it's not mainstream yet. So I don't think
Right.
even if a race because I know that they well I should wait till this is done. The pink cars are going at it here. Um, I
And we,
know
yeah.
freaking oh god who was it? I think it was Anderson brought a CBD sponsor a couple of years ago, and IndyCar told them to
Right.
go pound sand, which was probably not the not the most future thinking move in the entire world, but
Right.
you know,
Here we go. You can
aha.
see the tire. The guy didn't grab the tire when back. But you see the left front guy wasn't ready either.
Yeah, that was just a slow pit stop. And here comes, I think we're going to get some power pit lane shenanigans here, if I remember correctly.
Here
So,
we go.
oh no, it's. I forgot about this. This isn't power pit lane shenanigans. This is a New Garden pit lane shenanigans.
Yep, and then obviously I don't think he can't get it out of gear, or he didn't know that you need to actually put it into neutral there for the Indy car to actually get turned on again. So
I have you ever stalled in a race? I can't remember if you have.
I have yet to stall in a race. Yeah,
No jinx. Knock on wood.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I can't remember a time that I've stalled yet. That's one thing that I was always super scared of is stalling leaving, like when I first starting in IndyCar racing. But now it's kind of in the back of your mind. Oh man, that's so tough because he's holding Dixon off as just out
Oh
of he's
man.
coming the lane. So this is a lot from willpower. It's a lot of aggressiveness. So we'll see. Dixon's usually very calm about it though.
How much discipline does it take to let a guy just kind of make those kind of moves on you and maintain your composure? Because I mean, he was sideways underneath Dixon. I mean, how can Dixon? How does Dixon mentally kind of brush this
I
something
think
like this off? It's crazy.
I don't know. I'm sure he's upset. I'd be pretty upset. Yeah. I mean, it'd be hard not to be upset after that. Yeah. But I mean, it's and if you're in Will's position, he has to do everything he can to try and keep him behind him because now he's the lone wolf that can win the race for uh Penske basically.
What the season would have looked like if Power would have took Dixon out. Yeah. Baltimore 2013. That was the next response. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. That was interesting. Didn't Dixon also run over one of Power's guys in the pits
That
that
was
season?
that was Sonoma, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was
That
I
was
wish I had my
another
YouTube channel then.
controversial moment.
Did you
So
ever
he's
even get to Oh, there we go.
basically Power is the theoretical leader right now because Ericsson still has to pit. But then, didn't this pass already happen? What's going on? Is
N-
Palu coming back at him?
yes, yes.
And he gets him.
All the pink cars are all together, which is
You see too. It seems like I lost. Did I lose a position to? Was Rossi wasn't always in front of me, was he?
I think Rossi is on a different strategy.
Is he?
Yeah,
Okay.
because he's going backwards, so I think he's on way old
Oh
tires.
wait, no, yeah. Remember he hit the board at the beginning,
Right.
and so he gets out of the way for me there, which is nice of him. Hard to do that when you're, you know, hard to be nice when you're a lap down basically and just out of the race. You don't want to do favors for anybody. Ericsson going the longest about anybody, really.
I feel like he ends up with a really good finish too by the end of this. I think this was one of Ericsson's better performances.
Yeah, I remember him either about to pass me or did pass me, or maybe he was just ahead of me. Maybe he comes out ahead of me right here. And I was like, what the hell just happened? I didn't understand how it worked because I didn't think he was anywhere near me, and then all of a sudden he's in front of me.
Or wait a second, was this the race where he crashes on the last lap?
Or maybe I'm thinking of race two. Probably
Yeah.
thinking of race two. Yeah, because I go by it. And now I'm battling Palu for position. Yeah. Okay, I know what happens now.
Yeah. Because that just came into
Oh.
my mind that he crashed, but I can't
Yeah.
remember. I don't think we ever got a replay of that, so you may have to describe it better than I can. Did you ever get to run at Baltimore?
No,
Mm.
I always liked the layout as far as like a driving. Uh, the racing's actually really good there for the track, but I think just like the driving part of it, it seemed like a very, very, very difficult track.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. What have you heard of Grosjean going to IndyCar? Basically, what everybody else has heard. I don't know. It's
I,
either gonna happen or it's not gonna happen.
I will tell these the two chats this. The drivers are and nothing against the drivers, of course, but they are the worst sources to ask things about because they're the last ones to find out.
Yeah.
As I found out.
I think you have to ask. I think most of the drivers don't really care, to be honest, about
Right.
who's getting signed by who. So, don't really like ask around. If I know if it were to be with somebody, it would be with Foyt, right? Like that's the only seat that's pretty much open for a full season.
That seemed like it, but
Although maybe
Larry,
maybe a coin
yeah.
too.
Well,
I don't
Larry
know.
came out when they signed Kellett for the full year.
Right.
They said that they only wanted to do 2 full-time cars. So I don't know what that means. But
Maybe
I
he's
I
just
did
stirring
think
the
that
shit.
right. Well, that's another thing too. He may just be playing coy.
Yeah, who knows?
But I did think that Coin would be a place. I mean, it seems like a place where Grosjean would thrive,
Yeah.
especially because Olivier Boussin is a French guy and he's the engineer there. So I feel like there would at
Mhm.
least be a common language there. But Racer said he was talking to Foyt, so I don't know, and that was before his crash. So again, it's like who knows where his mind is, and we won't know until there's an announcement one way or the other.
It obviously depends on if he even wants to keep going after his crash. I think for some people it can affect him a lot, but
At least publicly, he's been like, I want to go, win races next year. So
right.
that's what he's been saying on his like personal Twitter account. So, but again, he could just be fronting. You never know. But at least
Mhm.
the drivers that I've known who've had big crashes, Bray Neves is a great example. It's like they don't even think about it. It's like they have it happens and they're like, okay, when do I get back in the car? It's like it's a very interesting psychology that goes into it.
What's the worst crash in your career? I
Oh
haven't
boy.
really had terrible crashes, knock on wood, but y- yeah, I'd say like obviously the one at Iowa was not ideal, but it wasn't really that bad of a crash. It just looked a lot worse than it actually was. When I was karting, I tore my liver open one time, and that was the worst crash. I had internal bleeding, and I was about 11. Um, and after that, it's really, I've been lucky. I haven't had a whole bunch of huge shunts. Like I said, like I had the Iowa one. I've, broken a few wrists and fingers here and there, but it's never been terrible. Or anything that you couldn't drive with. So yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones. David, what is your worst car crash?
Ah, I honestly haven't had that many. Thankfully, I got slammed into by a drunk driver one time while I was sitting at a stoplight. So that was
Jesus.
that was fun. But yeah, hopefully I can drive some more race cars next year and in the years beyond, and I can have big crashes and have war stories to tell you
You
guys.
got better stories, yeah. Your stories are lame. Go and crash harder and come back.
God.
Uh, Now this is kind of like a lonely point in the race where not much is going on and everyone's kind of situated with where they are. And this race kind of worked out where like this is kind of the guys finished. A lot of these guys finished where they should have. I finished somewhere I shouldn't have, but I feel like a lot of these guys finished where they should have because it was pretty equal up at the top. I was slow, very slow. Seemed like Ryan and Jack were much better than I was.
I mean, but you're right there.
I am right there. But, it's just not enough to kind of we don't yeah, we just didn't have enough to kind of push forward.
Steven says when you're paying to race and you crash, you either pay the crash damage or you retire.
Basically.
Oh man. I don't think he can answer this, but I'm gonna go ahead and throw this out there. Um, is Steinbrenner running a car next year? Because I know he's doing the lights, and again, you don't have to throw
Mhm.
your buddy under the bus. But as far as I'm aware, that's still up in the air right now? Question mark.
I think they want to. I think it would still probably be like how it is now, like how it's Michael and Mike and George. So I think they want to keep going. Obviously, George is has a big focus on his Indy Lights program right now too with Devlin. But you know, if they do, I don't know. That I think everybody knows what happens if they do.
And that's all he'll say about that. If you don't pay the crash damage, the car doesn't leave the flatbed. That's also true. Colton, are there any safety upgrades you'd like to see implemented at Road America? It's an interesting question.
That's a good question. I think it's a pretty safe track. I don't really have a problem with the safety there. I've hit a lot of the walls here actually. So I should know. The tires are actually here for some reason. Like they dissipate a lot of the energy. Um, which is amazing because that's what you want. Even more so than like a safer barrier. So it's actually pretty incredible how nice the tires are here, which, you know, and when you hit them too, they explode at a lot of the places. They're like very roughly put together so if you hit them at the right place, which we might see later. I don't know. What is your daily driver? I drive a Honda Civic, and I also drive a M4. I have a BMW in California. When I'm in Florida, I have a Honda.
There it is.
What's your daily drive?
A Honda Civic.
Let's go. There you
Yeah.
go. A Hyundai. No, my dad has or I think my mom has a Hyundai. Hyundai. Hyundai? I think it's Hyundai.
I would
Just
hope he
searching it
does.
now.
Or somebody does.
Very corporate answer. It's true though. Would you pay for a car if you didn't have to?
Oh my god. Wow, great footage of 1982 with Hector Robake there. That's some
I
rare
never heard of
footage,
him.
by the way. Really? He drove in he drove in Formula One for a little while. He's a Mexican driver, I believe. So yeah, there you go. That's the lamest cars a driver could drive, says Ben. I don't know about that.
No,
Honda
like
Civics are
BMW.
good cars. Speaking is
Type
another.
R? Type R is a nice car. Yeah, no, do you have Type R or just a Civic?
Do I have a what?
A Type R or just a
No,
Civic?
I wish I had a Type R. I can't afford a Type R. Not on a
Did I say
YouTube
Type
sound.
R? I have a Type R,
Of course you do.
which is actually awesome because if you want to take it to the track, it's actually pretty much ready. M4 GT3? No, unfortunately not. I asked for the GTS and they wouldn't give it to me. Of course. I don't even know if they have any, but yeah,
Speaking of,
and
there's
obviously
an advertisement for it right now.
yeah, there you go. And what's so cool is I never knew this. I've never seen this before, but it's obviously they only make the Type R's and sticks. Um, but then it has auto blip, so you don't even have to like heel and toe in the car. It just blips for you, which is pretty cool.
But you still have to use the clutch on the upshift and downshift?
Yeah,
Interesting.
Ye- I think you. I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure I've gotten it through without the clutch. I think if you have to, you can do some I mean, I don't know how long your
Oh
gearbox will
my
last. But
god.
I've made it to from second to third without clutch, and it was rough. Took all my force too. I was like, I'm trying to push it as hard as I could.
Oh.
Clutch is a better option for me. Have
I'm
you
glad I'm not
driven?
paying for your clutch, dude.
No. Me and David have driven F1 cars on F1 2020 though.
Right, yeah.
That's about it.
I would love to do like a track day with an F1 car, just once, just to see what it's like. And I don't
Me
care
too.
what you. Yeah, I'm sure you probably have a better chance of convincing someone to let you drive their F1 car than I do. But
That's the one thing that's so much cooler about F1 and IndyCar is like they still have so many of those old F1 cars out and running with somebody.
right, Yeah, in fact,
But
I saw a video, like I just happened to find a video today of a guy in like a 97 Jordan driving around this track, which is just really really cool.
yeah. Somebody said, I hope Harvey doesn't suddenly go off track soon.
Oh shit, I forgot about that. Yeah, I think he suffered like a brake failure or something, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a pretty big one, I think. Maybe it wasn't. I don't really remember, to be honest. I don't know. I didn't do my research on this race. I don't really remember it at all. I remember where I finished. Actually, I remember I finished 5th or 4th. I don't remember which one.
Well,
The
I
new
know.
Delara on iRacing is pretty sick. 900 horsepower. I haven't tried it yet. Have you tried it, right, David?
Yeah, yeah, it's all right.
How cool is it?
I didn't like it as much because they made you run it at Long Beach, which was
Yeah,
definitely interesting.
it's a tough track.
Yeah. I mean, I want to try it again. I wasn't like I didn't take to it like a duck to water, but it
Mhm.
seemed like a lot of people were struggling with it because it's got a lot of wheel spin and it doesn't have a lot of downforce. So if you're used to driving an Indy car or an LMP car which has a lot of downforce and not quite as much power, it's like driving on ice in some ways. But I think
Right.
yeah, I think it would be. Uh, I think you would probably enjoy it. Actually, I don't know because you didn't like the sprint car, and it kind of drives like the sprint car. So I don't
Oh,
know.
I hated this sprint car.
Yeah.
That thing was a piece of shit. I couldn't handle that thing at all. That was like just way too much car for me for some reason.
Oh,
You did a way better job than I did on that thing. There's like everybody. I
dude,
couldn't even make it to the green flag. I was crashing on the parade lap.
Jacob Abel needs to be a sprint car driver. He like every time he
I
got in
know.
that thing, he like ran away from the field. It was
I
like
know.
James French and his dad. They have a Benetton and a Jordan with Judd engines in the back. So there you go. I don't know if you know James French,
Oh,
but that's who runs
that
those
sounds
cars.
familiar.
I think he
I don't
ran
know. Maybe.
ALMS for a little while. Maybe Indy
Okay.
Lights.
Yeah, it does sound familiar. Is he Canadian or American?
I've never met him, so I'm
I
sure
feel like I remember him
Steven
from
will tell.
carts.
Yeah,
Um,
I guarantee he cars because if
so
Steve
he's
knows him, that's where he comes from.
okay about old F1 cars.
Wait,
Does
what?
he, the VK sponsor, does he own Lotto Jumbo?
Nah, no. I think that's just the sponsor that
That's,
sponsors all the Dutch drivers. It's like Target, but in
yeah, it's the guy that drives the LP car. Apparently, that's what it's saying. VK sponsor, and he must have some old F1 cars.
James is from Wisconsin,
Okay,
so they're
him and
American.
Aaron Telitz. A
He's an
lot of good
LMP2
drivers from
driver.
Wisconsin. James French, yeah, he did do some LMP too.
Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
here we go. Oh, I do remember this now.
Yeah.
He went off right in front of me. Yeah. And I remember thinking, what the heck is going on with him? As I was passing him.
Yeah, this is I don't know why Paul Tracy even thinks that this is not going to be a full course yellow. If
Somebody said,
IndyCar had
explain.
VSC, they could do that, but they don't.
See? There you go. But, you know what? Yeah, that would be... I don't even... Yeah, it'd be interesting for to see what people say about what they think about virtual safety car.
Oh, VSC?
Mm-hmm.
We'll ask. What do you guys think of VSC? Because I think there could be. Oh, James did some ALMS with Pato in the number 38 PC car.
Yeah, I remember doing that. I think they won Daytona together.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. In fact, I think they won like every race that season in PC. Or close to it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And James drove the Bellardi car at Elkhart Lake one year. Okay, there we go. Is VSC doubt this would have been a caution in the 90s. Yeah. But also in the
Definitely
90s, they
not.
used to drive like pickup trucks on the track when they were under
Yeah.
green. So it,
You remember
it's
that one of like Mario and Michael
yeah.
running into the back of the I couldn't imagine like turning a corner and that's what you see. There's like it just shows how insanely stupid humans are sometimes.
I need to figure
Like
out a way to
that
put that
was
into a
okay.
video because that's hilarious. Like I need to find like just like fails like that because I think that would do really well and get
You
like
gotta watch that one.
normies.
Some guy has amazing crash compilations or like fail compilation.
I guarantee
And
you, it's
I think his
Frisky
name's
Nixon.
Ryan Holman.
Oh,
Ryan
Ryan
Holman.
Holman. Oh no.
I think
Yeah.
he does like yeah, I've watched all of his videos.
There
I can't believe I remember that. I haven't watched him in a long time.
you go.
Somebody
Wow,
said to
a lot of
go
people.
over the car crash with at Iowa, and I will, but you gotta wait until we're there.
People really
Sorry.
don't like the virtual safety car in my chat, which is surprising.
Yeah,
Interesting.
people. It's weird that people like the close the pit rule or keep the pits open, and then they don't like virtual safety car
Yeah. Well, I
because I
mean,
think I'd be on the same side of things.
I think they look at like Le Mans and they don't like the fact that like I don't know. I don't I think virtual safety car is well it wouldn't be compatible with ovals. That's what people are saying. No, of course not. I think the question would be like
Oh my God, that'd be so interesting.
if do you how would you
I
even get
wonder
away
how
with that?
the tough part would be getting everybody to slow down on time with each other.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know though.
And oval brakes
I
aren't
mean,
really that great, are they? Because that would
people slow. Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? It's easier when you have like it's easy. Yeah, I don't know. When you crash on an oval, shit gets everywhere. The whole track is covered in debris
right.
when you properly crash on an oval. So, it's hard to do it in that sense because you're gonna be flying around and you know,
Is there a way to
I don't know. It wouldn't work.
improperly crash on an oval?
I think I think if you have a proper crash on an oval, it turns into a canoe.
Okay, so a proper oval crash,
You're
according to
driving,
Colton Herta, is knocking all the wheels off of it. Okay.
yeah, you canoe the car. You go skating down the track.
I remember Oriole Servia did that one year at Fontana. Knocked all four wheels off the car at once. It was like,
Got a FaceTime from Bill Auberlin.
oh my god, are you gonna take that?
I
Feel like,
missed it.
oh no,
He'll have to wait. I'm sorry if you're watching, Bill.
we're putting Bill Auberlin on hold. Oh, if David saw that IndyCar stage racing thing, he would have a mental breakdown. Yeah, I probably would. That would be ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at Dixon. He's so close.
I think
These are
this is the
these.
power issue here. I think.
Okay, these are the tough spots that put the pit crew in tough spots because the yellow flag pit stops. There's so much going on,
Right.
and it's so hard for them. It's a lot of stress.
Dangerous. I mean, this is insanely dangerous.
2013 Sonoma flashback vibes. Oh.
Ugh.
Is that a penalty? That's a penalty in IMSA. I don't know if it's a penalty
I think
in
he does
IndyCar.
get a penalty for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Ferrucci, obviously, that was the killer. Like he was in for a podium, I think, and that just, like I said, those yellow flag pit stops are really tough. So.
Let's see. Problem on the right. They just. Oh yeah, Santino hits somebody. Yeah. Dalton.
Yikes. And that, I mean, that should be a penalty, but let's see if they give, do they give him a penalty?
Ferrucci?
Yeah, it should be an unsafe
I
release.
think they might. Can't remember.
Power would have a couple of championships if he had the smallest amount of luck. I agree. That guy's really fast, and he's actually a really good race car driver. Is a lot of people don't think so, but he's had a whole lot of bad luck. And but he's sixth on the all-time wins list.
Wait, I was supposed to say, hang on. People don't think Power's a good race car driver. What?
Like as in like a race, you know, racing against other people, race car driver. No, I don't think he. No, I don't think he's. You think he's seen more as a qualifier?
Oh yeah, yeah. But I mean, you could say that about Lewis Hamilton, and I don't think people would say that Lewis Hamilton's a bad race car driver. So I mean,
No.
I don't know. That's a weird standard.
See, they're changing the spark plugs, I think.
Yeah, they had some kind of an engine issue or something going on here.
That sucks too, because they're gonna send you out and you're gonna be like 2 laps down at Road America and you're just gonna be pounding around. That's the worst thing ever as an IndyCar driver. And oh, Marco does a problem too.
Where do you do
The only
Marco?
thing that's worse is when you're an endurance driver and your car breaks down like an hour and
Right.
like I had this year at Daytona. That was the worst thing ever. Because we're like just at we got like 6 hours in or whatever, so, and we're out for just long enough that we most likely we're not going to get all our laps back, but we still just had to pound
Yeah, you
around.
had to. You couldn't retire the car. You had to keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah, so that's, yeah. It is what it is.
Daytona's going to be interesting this year. Going to be a lot more traffic. That'll be fun, Colton. I can't wait
Yeah.
to see the P3 cars and how those get along with the
Yeah, it's gonna be very
GTLMs.
interesting. Yeah.
I'm sure that's going to go well. I think you should have a running like tally of how many P3 cars you guys nerf off in like the first hour.
It's
Especially,
definitely gonna, I think it's gonna cautions a lot.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be the 24 cautions of Daytona again.
Right.
Especially if it rains and all the AM guys are running in prototypes and it's wet. And, oh my god.
Somebody said P3 will be the new PC, except there's gonna be like 17 or 18 of them, right? Like,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a bunch of them,
Yeah.
and there's a bunch of LMP2 cars now too.
Right, and they're slowing those cars down too. So the
Yeah.
P2s are going to be slower. The LMP3s are going to be about the same speed as the GTLMs, and so you're going to have about 3 classes, maybe even 4 classes that are just all running in a group the entire race, which will be chaotic to say the least.
See all those marbles offline, like what we talked about early on, is if you could do that move around the outside of the
Right.
carousel, like obviously now you would not be able to.
Come on, get the sweeper out there. Have about 5 more laps of caution for one good restart.
I know.
There's Jack. Are Colton and Santino buds? I think I can answer that one. Will Colton call Santino to catch up mid-season if he goes to NASCAR? I don't know. Will you call Santino mid-season to catch up? If
Most
he goes
likely
to
not.
NASCAR? I still think we should get him on here for Mid-Ohio. Just to have the...
That would be so. The numbers would be skyrocketed.
Right, exactly. We get shared all over the place. Be
There you
great
go.
for business.
That'd just be a you're wrong. No, you're wrong. No, you're
See,
wrong.
well, that's what F1 does. We can be more like F1. You guys need to start more drama in the off season. Give me stuff to make videos about. Come on.
Exactly.
just go on Twitter one day and just like type "you're a big poopy head" and tag just a random driver. Tag the first driver that comes up. Yeah. Then I can do a 10-minute video that'll get 20,000 views, and it'll be content. You'll get in the headlines.
There you go.
It'll be great. It'll work out for everybody.
You're gonna get the royalties budget from us though.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just do we'll do wrestling. We'll just have fake the fights and
Be hilarious, like a boxing match between you have like welterweights and stuff. Like
oh my
somebody
god.
said, "Are you racing the BM for Daytona?" I am racing for BMW in Daytona.
Oh, that's confirmed. Okay, I've kind of been dancing around the issue because I didn't want to make you speak out of school, but yeah, there we go. All right.
Yeah, no, I will be racing for BMW.
What about at Sebring? No, I'm just kidding. I won't make you go there.
Now watch Paulu. Paulu's very good on the restart. That's
Whoa.
kind of where they show it. Ooh, that's gonna be brutal for the next 14 laps for him. You see, he just hopped the up button as soon as he exits the corner. And I'm sure it was, I flat spotted my tires. Help me.
Yep.
I hope Connor Daly doesn't get taken off this
Oh.
lap. Man, I hope so too.
You can kind of see it coming here. It's just like, oh boy, we're all side by side here, and oh boy.
And here we go. Oh, Kershaw. And you can see the tires.
So something that the fans have all noticed with the NBC broadcast, I'm going to point this out to you, and you'll never be able to unhear it. Every single time something
Do I want
happens,
to?
oh, I'm going to make you. You're going to have to live with
Okay.
this. Every time something happens, Paul and Townsend go whoa, and you're never going to be able
Oh,
to.
I have noticed that.
Okay, you'll never unhear that, and it will happen every single time for the rest of the season. Will Colton be racing with Krone or Spangler at BMW? Is that something you can answer?
Oh, you'll have to wait and see.
There we go.
Somebody said, "Would you ever race in F1?" Go read the article at Racer. That debunks everything. And then go in the comments and read how upset I made everybody.
Oh no.
I didn't know the tires were filled with water. Something to do with it? On why they're so nice to hit?
Yeah, that might be it.
Is that a thing at most tracks? Do you know,
No,
David?
no, I don't think so. As far as
I
I'm aware, that's a no.
and I think actually Connor like tore in his shoulder or right shoulder?
Yeah,
Looks like right.
he looks hurt.
And so he was, trying to get himself situated as soon as possible because he had another. Colton, what's your take on this crash? Tough to say. I think a more experienced guy would know that there's a lot of marbles on that outside, so that you get pinched. And I think Pato knows that now. But you can just see like it seemed like Connor was primarily ahead there, but racing incident, right? They're going for the same part of track. Connor turned down, and Pato was, still kind of there. And I think where a lot of guys probably would have just given the corner to Connor, so he didn't have to go through on the marbles and probably go out of the track.
So everyone is reminding me that there was a big storm on Thursday night, which I seem to remember. So it's actually just rain that's kind of uh,
Okay.
accumulated in the tires. Everybody's saying he dislocated his shoulder.
That
Was
could have been it too.
that
I
severe?
don't know if he did something pretty bad to his shoulder, I think. I've never dislocated my shoulder, but I sure as hell do not want to figure out what it's like to get it popped back in place. 'Cause I
Nope.
imagine it doesn't feel very good.
That go kart track right there is really fun to do on the race weekends. They run like rental carts, like really shitty rental carts, but it's fun. Would recommend. It's a good way to waste $20,
There you go.
and you get a free head sock.
There you go. If you've ever wanted to own your own head sock, you can buy one at Road America for $20. And you get some go-kart racing.
Yeah.
Are you taking over for Hamilton if he doesn't come to an agreement with Mercedes? I'm really not supposed to say anything, but
That would be. Well, you're taking over for Mazepin, right?
oh
What? Who
boy,
said that?
that's a sticky situation.
That's that's putting it lightly.
Yeah.
You're doing all right. Oh yeah, Lindy Thaxton. They gave an update on her a while ago. Um,
Yeah.
I feel like she's like, I don't remember. I think she's doing better though.
I don't know. I couldn't comment on it. I have no clue. I've actually heard having it pop back in helps with the pain. It's like a relief, but I could be wrong. I heard it from my dad. I mean, you're probably right. I bet it hurts when it's not in place, so then you can just,
Yeah, it's better
maybe
just
it
to
feels
not fight.
good.
I wouldn't want to know. I don't think anybody really wants to know.
Somebody said I don't know how to say this guy's name. I heard they're going to sign, but I know who the guy is. Mahavir Ragunathan?
Right? Yeah.
Mahavir? Mahavir. I know who he's talking about though.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
funny.
yeah. It's the Indian guy.
That dude is a meme. That's gotta be the biggest meme driver, I think, in the world. Possibly of
Uh,
all time.
Taki Inui would be another one because he got run over by a safety truck.
He
Broke his
did?
leg. Yeah, yeah,
Oh my god.
yeah. I mean, he was fine. It
Terrible.
just broke his leg, but I mean, he was
Oh my
like,
god.
his engine blew up or something. He didn't even
Oh
crash.
no, I do. Yeah, I do know. Oh, I know exactly what you're. Yeah, I've seen that. It's from like the 90s, right?
Right? Yeah, yeah. But he also
I
sucked.
do.
So.
Yeah, King Hero is up there. Yes, King Hero is up there. I remember my dad telling me that, like, his stories of, you know, King Hero.
Well, you know what the funny thing about King Hero is? He
I think a
is
good.
Panasonic. Like his grandfather owns Panasonic. So the Panasonic sponsorship you see in
Ah,
IndyCar, that's Hero. And he
I mean,
also he
I knew
also
that like he brought it from Japan, but I didn't know that was,
right, and he also owned Swift Engineering, which built the Swift IndyCar. So,
Wow.
and your dad, you might or might not know this, but be sure to talk to him at dinner about it. Your
Mhm.
dad was supposed to drive a Swift. I think it was Hero, or it was Jerry Forsyth who had the team. Your dad was going to drive a Swift with a Honda engine in the back of it in 2000, I think. And for some
For
reason,
for Jerry Forsyth, you
yeah,
think?
for Jerry Forsyth, what it was the team that used to be the one
Yeah,
that
yeah,
Tony Kanaan drove for. And
yeah, yeah.
then for whatever reason, it fell apart before the season started. And he never got to drive it. But your dad almost drove for, or at least drove one of Hero's cars. So there you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hero, while he gets a bad rap, I agree, and he definitely did some stupid shit. He has actually contributed to and continues to contribute
There you go.
to the series.
Yeah, I have a really funny story that I unfortunately can't say if it is from an engineer, but all you need to know is very funny.
That'll be an offline thing.
Oh, jeez, you can see when the tires are so cold, obviously that to the ground, so you bottom a lot more as you see power.
Oh.
I forgot this happened too again. Really? Come on.
Yeah, because this is the thing. Pillow works really hard for this pass and doesn't count.
Yeah, even though it looks like it's still green. Maybe Tracy can comment on this from the booth.
Well, they end up waving Hunter Ray around. I do remember that, and I thought it was crap.
Yeah.
So I remember this because I saw it. I don't remember if they actually have a replay of this, but because Power and Dixon were playing games on the restart, it
Mhm.
stacked everybody up in the back, and Kellett came flying up on a group of cars, and he had to like make a voiding action, and of course it meant he went straight off
Uh,
into the
okay.
gravel. I don't know if they show it, but I do remember this because I was standing
Right.
on like a platform. But what's cool is Road America actually has like wooden platforms that they build for the fans. It's that you can stand up on top of and see. So no, they're not
Were
gonna
you
show.
like on? Were you on the giant hill?
No, I did. I was there for
That's
race two.
that's my favorite place to watch. Is if you go up, uh, so obviously you have the right hander. That's the last corner, but right by the left hander, there's a giant hill to the right of it. If you've never been there, or if you have been there too, and if you go up, there's actually this one little wooden bench, kind of like halfway down. You kind of have to hike down a little bit,
Yep.
and that's actually such a cool spot to watch from.
Yeah, Road
That's
America
where I
is
always watch from.
awesome, awesome track.
Yeah.
I don't know. This was the thing that I took away. This is completely unrelated to IndyCar, but at least it's related to Road America. How the hell do they not have an endurance sports car race at this track? It seems
Oh,
like the
did they not this
perfect.
year?
They don't. They don't have an endurance like a proper endurance race like day to
Oh, an
night.
endurance race.
Yeah, like I can't believe it because it's like this is like the
Not
perfect
even like a
track.
chump car race?
Well, they might, but I mean like IMSA or WEC or somebody.
Yeah.
It just seems like the perfect venue for a
Right.
Petite Le Mans style race, and they don't have it.
Petite Le Mans, yeah, that would be awesome. I'm all for it. Put more races on. Get me to drive a little bit more.
Is David Land afraid of heights? Not really.
Yes.
I mean, oh, is Colton Herta afraid of heights?
No, no,
Oh,
I'm not
okay.
afraid
There
of
we go.
heights. I was answering for you.
I wouldn't say I'm afraid of heights. I mean, I'm trying to think of like any time height has actually even scared me.
I like the scary feeling of being on a roller coaster, but it does scare the shit out of me. I don't like being that high up, but I like it at the same time.
The problem I have with like fair rides is like the fact that you're not controlling it. I don't know if that's
Right.
like it's more like to me. Oh, are they actually going to show? Maybe they will.
I get yeah, he checks up right
Yeah,
here.
yeah. So
Oh
this
yeah.
this ends up
Boom.
stacking everybody up behind,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and that's where
I
the
think they
crash
do show.
happens.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember hearing about this.
So how lenient should they be on that sort of stuff? Because it did cause a crash, and it slowed the field down, and it kind of took away from the show. I mean, is there any way
Right.
you
I
can
don't
police
know.
that?
I mean, it's hard. Like if you're talking about like throwing a guy's win away 10 laps ago just because he went really just slowed down a little bit, then went up to safety car speed. But it's just a huge change. The guys behind that, you know. I don't know.
Hmm.
I think the best thing, like if you really want to penalize a guy like that, you just move him back behind the guy of the guy behind him.
Road America needs a proper paddock. I mean, I don't think the paddock. I mean, again, I didn't really spend much time in there because they had most of it fenced off. But
Hmm.
I don't think Road America was much different than like Road Atlanta or Sebring in terms of paddock space or the way it's
No,
laid
they
out.
definitely have enough paddock space.
Yeah.
IMSA comes here.
Right. Yeah. Right. So that's why I was confused at that.
Uh, is Colton Herta afraid of Colton Herta? Yes, and you should be too.
Hi, Kevin.
10 laps to go. Alex Palu is a madman on the restart. That's who you want to watch. Don't watch me. Oh, here we go. We can learn about Alex.
Yay.
Which track on the schedule would you look at and say, I don't know how sure I am about this track, how I would do here?
Alex Palou needs more fans. Where's the
Yeah.
official iPhone track record at Daytona? Oh, look it! I got a new. There you go, Connor.
What happened?
I got a new phone. I got that one for you too. Basically, when when I was in, I can't believe you must have heard this story. No, you definitely heard this story. But basically, in Daytona, um, I forgot to take the phone out of my pocket after my first stint. In the first, it was the first stint of the year that we won. So it was like 2019. Connor DeFilippi is in my chat right now. I'm talking to him. Connor
Okay.
DeFilippi ran the first stint, and then I was in second stint. And I got in, and I forgot to take my phone out of my pocket, and it fell out of my pocket, and it did the entire 24 hours of Daytona basically.
Uh,
And I have the phone. I have the phone in here. I think actually. I don't know where. I have the phone somewhere. I don't know where it is, but I have the phone, and yeah, it's like gonna be with me forever because it won Daytona 24 hours.
wow. I had not heard that story. That is.
And it was so funny because I was like looking around the whole time. I was like, where the heck is my phone? And I got my girlfriend's phone, and I was looking at to find my iPhone, and it's going around the track. It's like every 5 seconds, just updating to a different spot, just going beep 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 around the lap. And I was like, oh no, I'm gonna get in a lot of trouble.
That's pretty cool, though. I mean, that's
And
a.
it was lodged so far like underneath the right side of the cockpit that they couldn't find it. I tried to find it during the pit stops. I couldn't find it, and they couldn't find it until they took the car completely apart. So, did it break? Yes, it did break. It's completely shattered. Not that my you should see my normal phone. Like what I just got to change to this phone because my other phone had like a green bar going down the whole side of it, and it's all chunked up. Thing.
You got to get a boomer
Uh,
case like I've got on mine. Just big old plastic thing.
Yeah, I need that. I have a case right now, right here, but I don't know. I feel like I have like minor OCD, and I don't like putting like a case on my phone. I think it ruins the aesthetic.
Yeah. You have to sometimes
It,
choose a function over form, Mr.
it's a very expensive risk.
Herta.
Live life on the edge with my phones. Think you guys can beat Nick Tandy this year? Yes.
Driving for Corvette now, which is
Yeah,
going to
it's gonna be
be.
strong. It's gonna be strong. Nick's a very good GT driver.
All right. Yeah, they never showed a replay
All
of
of
Dalton going off, did they?
yeah, interesting. Here we go.
Oh yeah, Pillow.
Hello. Just the way he gets the car turned is just very impressive.
Such a cool shot.
Man, good. And at this point, I was like licking my chops because I thought I was gonna get a chance when they're like side by side at the front straight, but then it just never really materialized.
That's kind of why I feel bad for Pillow. The fact that he had to pass Ryan Hunter-Reay twice. He probably would have gotten power, and who knows what might have happened with him and Dixon at the
It
end.
would have
So.
been very interesting. He was so good on those restarts. Polo's got to be like the nicest guy in IndyCar, I think.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I think he's like extremely nice. He needs more fans.
Well, I think
He's the nicest guy.
we've talked about this before, but I think the big thing about the new drivers from last year is that the fans never met them, because
Right.
there were no
Oh, yeah.
autograph sessions or no
Exactly.
garage stuff. So, that will come eventually. And you're giving him obviously very high marks. I'm sure. I'm sure he'll, and especially now that he's in a high profile seat with Ganassi, that will
Right.
help as well.
Dixon is a teammate.
Right. Jimmy, Kanan.
Jimmy Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's gonna be very interesting to see how Jimmy goes. Very interesting.
He's been driving an F3 car. Have you seen that?
I'm driving a lot of things. He's been really trying hard at making sure that he does this the right way, which is very, very impressive.
It's not surprising though, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I think in a lot of ways, honestly, he's kind of like the anti-Alonso in that
Mm-hmm.
he's actually like committing to it and not
He
just
is so
expecting to
committed,
show
yeah.
up and win.
He is very committed, especially like that, like right after the NASCAR schedule to just hop right in. Like that's a tough ask. That NASCAR schedule is very daunting and very tough. Even if you're like a high profile guy like him that, can fly private or, fly first class or whatnot, it doesn't make it that much easier that you're away from home all the time.
Well, that's what's crazy to me is because Jimmy seems to be, oh, this is a
Oh yeah, that was that was nice racing.
yeah.
That
It's
was
just
great for the fans. That was awesome.
that
Yeah.
was exciting, yeah. But it seems like Jimmy's family is very important to him. So the fact that he got
Hmm.
his wife and his daughters to sign on to him, even if he's not going to run the ovals ever, to commit to like giving pretty much his full time effort to IndyCar,
Right.
that's pretty impressive from just everybody involved there.
Hmm. And obviously, IndyCar is a very chilled out schedule compared to the
Right.
NASCAR guys, I think, too.
Yeah, but he's still testing every weekend. So what's the
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's basically on a NASCAR schedule.
Yeah, but where was Connor supposed to go though? I mean, that's the
Yeah.
like
They're an awesome family, very friendly. Yeah, every time that I've talked to Jimmy, he's a very nice guy. Probably the nicest guy that you'll find that's that like high profiled of an athlete like that. Like, you know, 7-time world champion, or do they call it a world championship?
no.
7-time NASCAR champion. I don't know. It's like calling the NFL teams like they're world champions.
Well, yeah, but it's not like yeah, I guess. I mean, motor racing is definitely a different
Yes.
animal. Oh, here we go again. Oh, you're gonna miss it. Nope, they didn't.
Somebody
Oh,
just
oh,
went right.
that's the that's
There we
what I
go.
remembered.
That's a little bit more. It's also getting a little bit of a reputation here now. I mean, he was doing so well.
Yeah. Yeah, Pato just went in a little too late there, it
He
looks
just
like. And
runs a little bit too deep.
now, I don't know if Simon at this particular moment in time that we're
Yeah.
seeing right now feels that way, but, you know,
I think a lot of guys would have done the same thing that Pato did.
right.
They had to get by, they have a stack of cars behind them that can pass them. No, Connor Daly is not on the call with me right now. This is not Connor.
It just sounds like Connor because we were both educated in the Indiana public education system. So
Yeah,
we have
there you
very
go.
similar accents and ways we speak.
This is David Land.
Yeah. I
Very
literally think just a YouTuber is trending right now, so I will say just a YouTuber.
There you go.
There we go.
I'm very excited to see how McLaughlin develops in IndyCar. Me too. It
I
will
think
be
he'll be there
interesting.
like right away, honestly.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that and it was really smart what Roger did putting him in at St. Pete is that he's going to get to go right back to that track at the
Right.
start of
Mhm.
next year. So the learning curve will be hopefully slightly less.
Mhm. You can see how fast Pillow is, but you just can't do anything. I think once you get so close to power.
It's David Land's alter ego, Jimmy Water. What?
That's pretty funny. Jimmy Water.
Jimmy Water. Oh my god. Oh, it's Colton Herta and Santino Ferrucci are together on track. This'll be
Here we
interesting.
go. Is he right behind me or
Yeah.
in front of me?
Right
Oh,
behind
he's
you.
right behind me. Right now, I guess at this point, you just try not to make a mistake, right? Like, you can kind of tell this is where you're going to finish unless something major happens and you just can't make a mistake.
Who wins the Indy 500 first, Newgarden or Scott? Which I assume he's meaning McLaughlin. That's an interesting question.
Oh. I think Newgarden. Newgarden seems to be good around there, but just does not have the luck.
I don't know. I almost would lean towards McLaughlin. I kind of feel like he's gonna pick it all up really very quickly.
Yeah. I think it's a wild card. It will be interesting. Were you scared of being Ferrucci'd at this moment, Colton? Jeez. I don't think being Ferrucci'd was a thing yet.
Well, it was, but no, because he, I think that kind of meme started when he crashed Oliver at the end of the iRace.
Okay, yeah, so what, yes. No, I was not at this point.
I still can't believe he did that. Like, I get it's a video game, but like...
I know. Oh, here we go. Here's some more action. What's going on?
He's got a flat tire, I think, doesn't he? Oh, bye.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you,
It's
Paul.
like, is it the left front or?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, left front.
I think he runs into somebody. I can't remember who he... We'll see it in a bit, but... Nope. Rewind the tape a little bit more.
Why are
there.
they showing this? Come on. Oh boy.
He's got an onboard, so like just rewind the onboard to the point where
Mm-hmm.
I think he hits Chilton. I feel like that's
Chilton came off that corner slow, so.
yeah, there he is.
Yeah. Chilton kind of asked for a little bit more room than he was due for. To be honest, there you can see like Rossi's alongside of him, and Chilton just wants to run him off the road.
Colton Herta, tell him it like it is.
Very interesting.
So that one's 100% Chilton.
Yeah, that was all Chilton right there. Herta or Award wins Indy first. Me.
We haven't got. I can't wait till we get to the Indy 500. That's one I'm really interested to hear your thoughts on because you were kind of there, but you also weren't there, which is kind of interesting.
I was never fast enough to win, but I was fast enough to watch the winner win. Basically. Those restarts at Indy are so much fun with the aero package that we have right now. There is nothing more fun than being able to race like that. And being able to go to the outside and wonder if you're going to make it or not. At least for me. Some people might not like it. Some people might think it's a little frightening or...
Well, I mean,
it's the best thing ever.
That's the difference between guys who go forward on restarts and the guys who go backwards on restarts, I guess.
Yeah, and once the racing gets started, it wasn't as, it's not been as good as it has in the past years, but they're always working on it, and they're always, like, just right now, before the winter time, before it started to snow at Indy, they did do changes to the front wing and updates to the front tires, so they're still trying to work on it, make it better.
I didn't think this year was that bad. I thought previous years have been worse. I mean, it probably needs a little bit of tweaking because the lap cars are still way too hard to pass. But right. I don't necessarily want to see 68 lead changes again. I mean, maybe I don't know. How do you feel about it? Because to me, 2013 was like way too much.
They need to get it to where you can actually pass if you're fifth place or back, right? Like the guy in third place isn't doing anything except for watching the party.
Hmm.
It's like being invited to a party and then they say no, you have to stand outside the window and watch both of us party. So that's what it feels like, and there's no way around it.
Mm. At least right now. I mean, do you think I mean, obviously you haven't tested with the components, but um, based on what you've heard, I mean, have they made any kind of inroads in correcting that issue?
I'm not sure that Andretti actually tested at that test.
I think
I'm not
Ryan
sure
did.
that. Oh, Ryan did.
Uh huh.
I mean, I don't know.
You got his number text? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm pretty sure I would have asked them after, but I don't really remember what they said.
Right.
50 wins with no 500 or one 500.
Oh.
How many IndyCar wins do I get with the one 500? Is that it, or like do
Well,
I
it's
get
too
my
late
3
now.
wins?
It sounds like
Do
you're
I
on
get
the
my 3 wins?
well,
I would probably do 50 wins.
chances are you'd get a championship or something with 50 wins.
I would hope, yeah. Or maybe 5 or 6.
Oh man. Yeah, probably maybe.
I mean, what's Dixon at right now? 52? No, 50, 51?
Yeah. But I would also argue that some of his championships came in kind of weak years.
Yeah.
Not to disparage him, but I think that when
No,
it
yeah.
wasn't merged, you had 5 or 6 guys that probably could have won the championship that weren't there.
Right.
You're running in a much more competitive era than Dixon
Yeah.
did in his first couple of years.
Exactly, yeah. But how many championships has he won in competitive years? 4?
Right. He has won a lot in
Yeah.
so again, definitely not disparaging Dixon whatsoever, but it's just like I don't know. We'll have to see. Maybe you will be the 7-time IndyCar champion.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I think
That would be something.
I think we're about to have a little bit of extracurricular activities here in a second if we stay with the shot. I don't remember if they do or not.
Is it the first? Is it not the second? Is it the first race or the second race?
I swear, I think it's this race. Maybe I'm
I
wrong.
didn't even realize it's the last lap. It's the last.
Yeah,
lap.
it's the last lap.
Guess who wins?
3 races.
Another Dixon win.
This was actually like unbelievable. Like at this point, I'm like, this guy's the Terminator. You know.
I mean, the thing is he won the first race. He won it easy. Like he had that. There was no point that anybody thought it wasn't gonna be him. But the next 2, like he won, and like he deserved to win.
Right.
He raced really hard. He raced really good. They had a really good strategy.
So yeah, this was the Ericsson.
Yeah, so he did go up.
Okay. Oh yeah, this is like a Code Brown times a million for Rahal here, I think.
Oh man, could you imagine that on the last lap, basically last corner almost?
It's wild.
I've done that. I've done worse. I've pulled into the pits on the last lap before
What?
when I was leading
Oh my God, that's pulling a Mark Martin.
in
Some
in
people
go-karts. I have never done it in a race car, knock on wood, but
Oh, we're gonna get some scooter going on here in a second, I think.
I know. Dixon has to do some donuts after that. 3 in a row.
I'm sure the Honda engineers were happy. You got a goddamn
Yeah.
race tomorrow. What are you doing?
Yeah. And we're only allowed 4 engines now, I think.
Right.
3 engines like that, and then you get penalties.
Imagine if he hadn't done that. He would have won like the next 5 races. That burnout.
Probably. It's a good thing that he did it then, yeah.
It was cool that he
I
did
think-
it though, because this was the first race with fans. So I guess he was doing,
Right, yeah.
but yeah,
I think if I ever won a championship, I'd blow up the engine.
that would be amazing. Please do that. I'm holding you to that, and I will roast you in a video if you don't do it. If you win the championship,
You know what I've always wanted to try do, like that some people do? I've only seen it done one time in an IndyCar where they do the burnouts against the wall with the front nose up to the wall.
Oh man. Well,
I don't know how it'd work. I don't know if like you just could completely rip off the front wing, or what? What do you think? What do you think would happen, chat? That'd be an interesting one. Maybe I'll try it someday.
I feel like you're gonna get a
Maybe.
$50,000 bill for the front wing. That's what I feel
Well,
like.
I feel like if you win a championship and do it, they don't care.
Right?
I think if
Yeah.
you win one race, then they'll be like, really, really, Dick.
See, that's
I think
that would be hilarious if like somebody like lucks into a win next year.
Right.
You know, one of the back marker guys, and they just like do the like just tear like go full like Who at the end of a concert, and just like maybe that's what Connor would do. I feel like Connor might do something like that if he ever wins a race.
See, no one's ever done that. No one's ever written off a car after they won for their victory. So, like Zanardi had donuts or whatever. Maybe like Elio got to climb the fence. Maybe somebody just needs to rip the gearbox off the back of the car and crash it super hard at the end of the race.
I feel like no one's like totaled a car before, but I'm pretty sure Zanardi and Vassar crashed into each other on a victory celebration one time.
Laguna Seca.
Yeah. But that's about as close as it got.
No, wait, no. Somebody did on accident. What was that? The IMSA race at Laguna Seca with was it Jan Magnussen and the Porsche driver?
Oh, that was for a win though. That was
Yeah, well, it kind of happened.
that was an awesome race. As good as IMSA is now, like prime ALMS was so cool. Oh, I missed that series. But yeah, I'm trying to think like there's not been a whole lot of like crazy celebrations in racing. I mean, I Kyle Busch smashed the guitar at Nashville one time.
So awesome. The promoters had to be so mad about that. That's hilarious.
They gave him permission. They were like, "Yeah, go ahead and do it." It was like,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Maybe you need to do that. Shatter like the glass trophy that they give you.
Well, Bourdais
Remember-
accidentally did that one.
Toronto, yeah. That was funny too. Those trophies aren't cheap too, and I'm sure they'd make you buy a replacement trophy.
Look how sweaty he is.
That's so funny. What I think of is I want somebody to just write off their car if they win the Indy 500 or the championship so bad.
Oh,
Can you
dude.
imagine the 500 if they put it up and like it's just a canoe.
Yeah,
and they
well,
just drag
especially if
it
it's
up
like a
to the-
Penske car. Like, because Roger, like, puts the cars right into the museum when they win. And so, if you crash the car on the cool-down lap,
There you go.
that'd be your first Indy 500 win for Penske and probably your last.
Yeah. How sweaty do you get after these races? It depends. This one probably vary. It was very hot. I think it depends on who you are. Like, some people lose like up to 6-7 pounds a race. I don't lose that much, but you know, I also don't sweat a ton.
That the Stefan Johansson mask, which I definitely thought were probably the coolest mask that anybody wore the entire year.
I did like the Stephanie Hansen mask. Somebody said the race version diecast would be interesting if you write off the car.
Well, the NASCAR guys do like blow the rear tires out all the time on the burnouts, so I guess that's kind of similar. But also, those are like sheet metal and tube frame. It's not a carbon fiber race car. Someone who gets a Hershey sponsorship needs to make chocolate milk if they win Indy.
They don't allow you to have chocolate milk.
Yeah, I know. I don't remember who it
A lot
was.
of people have tried.
Yeah, I think it's Elio, isn't it, who always like writes it in?
Yeah. I know one time. I won't say who it was. One time somebody wrote breast in.
I can take a couple of guesses, but we'll leave that one alone for now.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Now that would be quite a scene at the.
Well, all right. I think that's pretty much it from us, isn't it?
On that note, do they interview you?
Smoke. Maybe I do. Do they? Maybe we just wait and see.
Okay.
I remember everybody. You see like the pit lane speed limit thing in the background.
Yeah.
I remember everybody was talking about it because it's either this race or the next race that it like I set it off as I'm walking by.
I didn't think you walked that fast.
I mean, it was only like it caught you when you're going like 3 miles an hour, 2 miles an hour.
I can see what you're saying about Pillow. The fact that he, was gonna buy his whole crew beer. That's kind of.
It's very yeah, he's a really nice guy.
Well, I see you down there.
I don't know if I got called for this one. I don't remember.
They
For sure
probably.
the second one I did.
Oh, okay. Well, then we can save that for the next time, whenever that is. Hopefully, it's not
Yeah.
it's not 2 weeks from now. Well, there's willpower and just
Well, it'll either be for everyone. It'll either be tomorrow or it'll be Monday.
there we go.
And if it's not one of those times and it's in between, follow both of us on Twitter and you want to and turn the notifications on.
Right there you go.
Yeah, for our Twitch and YouTube. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna end it here. Thanks for everybody for watching again. That was fun. Next race is gonna be another interesting one, and then after that, we have a very interesting one, which I'm sure everybody knows who that one is.
That'll be a highly viewed one, I suspect.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I'll see you guys later.
Bye, everybody.